All right, hi second grade. Today we're going to continue our work for our opinions cycle 2 writing. First thing you're going to need to make sure you do is you make sure that you have something colorful to write with that are these colors. I'm using my markers, but you can use anything that you have at your house. We're also going to make sure we have our paper that we're writing our paragraph on. I've already started mine, so you should have the same paragraph paper that you were working on yesterday. Let's go ahead and let's read our objective. We're working still on our publishing, and we're on day 8. I can write an opinion paragraph that includes a topic sentence, supporting reasons and details, and a concluding sentence. I'm going to write a check to show that I'm getting that done. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn back to our page 22. But actually, before you do that, let's double check that we have our materials color coded so that we can find them nice and easy. Okay, so I remember we finished our reason 1. Hard to see, sorry. We finished our reason 1 and reason and our examples details yesterday. So now we're gonna finish off by doing our reason 2, putting this into my paragraph, and then putting this into my paragraph, and then finally our concluding sentence, okay? So you might wanna look back at those so you have them ready. As I'm not writing anything new, I'm just taking this and I'm adding transition words when I need it. Okay, so now that I thought about that, now that you got that ready, let's go ahead and write, let's look at our student sample. I know it's hard to see sometimes. I'm trying best I can with my video. So I'm gonna follow along and read this. And I'm getting my opinion words and phrase, my part right here. So I'm ready to start. Okay, so I just finished writing their first example. So I'm gonna guess next is gonna be a transition word with reasons, because that's the order we've been writing it in. Next, oh, there's a transition word. Ooh, and I don't think I have that on my list that I made for myself. I'm gonna add that. Next. I notice there's a comma after it. It's a comma, okay. So there's that transition word. Next, they are cute. Oh, that's a reason. So these Brazilian prehensile-tailed porcupines are cute. I have to look at a video of them. Okay, so now I'm gonna make sure I add a transition word and then make sure that I have my second reason. And again, it's just gonna be, they are fun to visit. Let's see what I do. Second, oh, there's the transition word I used. Second, they are fun to visit. Right? Okay, so now let's go back to our student example. And you probably can guess what's coming next. We're going to be looking for examples of how they are cute. Let's see what they tell us. Here's a transition word. For example, I guess that's a phrase. There's a phrase that they're using. For example, they have small round eyes and a huge pink nose. Sounds like a good example of them being really cute. I'm gonna go ahead and underline that purple. So now let's make sure I did that for mine. I'm gonna look for a transition word, and then I'm gonna look for an example. And I remember mine was an example of how they're fun to visit, or details on how they're fun to visit. I'll read this again. Second, they are fun to visit. For example, oh, there's my transition word. When you go to the cafe, you can play with, and I'm just turning my page over. I wrote it on the back. You can play with cats in a cozy area. I remember I have a lot of examples of how they're fun to visit. They have strings, cat trees, and other toys you can use. There's a little more. They even have tasty coffee drinks you can sip while you play. See, these are all examples of how they are fun to visit. Okay, now it looks like, I'm wondering if next is going to be their concluding sentence. Let's see. Remember, that's the last thing we say to our readers to really remind them of why it's important, why our opinion matters. I hope you know that Brazilian prehensile tailed porcupines are cool. Looks like they used the wish one. Okay, I'm going to make that orange. And it looks a little bit like the red on the camera, but this color is orange. Okay, and they made an I hope statement, so I can tell that they used this one right here. But remember, I used a question. Who will you adopt from Cat Town? So my paragraph ends with, who will you adopt from Cat Town? Okay, and now that I'm just done, I think I want to reread it over again to make sure it makes sense. And you might want to do that too. Cat Town is the first place you should go to adopt a cat. First, they really care about the cats. For example, many cats don't feel safe or happy in small cages at shelters. Cat Town finds the cats who don't do well and puts them in foster homes. They also are able to let cats roam freely in the cafe play area. Second, they are fun to visit. For example, when you go to the cafe, you can play with cats in a cozy area. They have strings, cat trees, and other toys you can use. They even have tasty coffee drinks you can sip while you play. Who will you adopt from Cat Town? Okay, so you're going to do the same thing. So continue color coding this paragraph and then continue to write your paragraph until it's complete. Only thing you probably need to add are transition words or phrases, and the rest you should be able to find in your notes that you've made on these pages. Okay, we'll go ahead and get started.